see something that said, take a look at what happened.
I brought like a little campaign sign with me that I was waving it before Trump came on. And at that moment, my head was down and I was questioning myself. Should I bring up the sign now or should I wait? You know, while my head was down, the shots came about.
Oh my God.
My head was like this, and all of a sudden I hear brum, brum. The 8 shots, they came from the right side. Mm-hmm. And I'm lifting my head up with him. He was on the right bleacher. On my left bleacher, I was center. On the left bleacher, there were 2 other guys who got shot. James, I believe, and David. The guy who got shot in the chest, and the other guy who got shot in the liver. But they're okay. Thank God they're okay.
Hi, everybody. Hi, leaders of the Hispanic world. I'm so honored to have Vincent Fusca with us. Many of you guys have seen him behind Trump in all the rallies, in all the speeches.
I don't know about all the rallies, Jennifer. A lot of rallies.
Yeah, so he became such a like a symbol in Trump campaign. I don't know why. Like everybody's like, hey, see, Vincent is there. Like, oh, Vincent is there. But yeah, the most important thing is that he witnessed one of the most terrifying moments of the history of America, especially when the attempt of Donald Trump's assassination was really shocking the world. And it was just so, I don't know, like the world was trembling with this situation. And
I understand.
were just behind him. And this day, our cameras of the Epoch Times of NTD were there shooting like what was going on. But when this moment happened, it was just something that the world will never forget.
Yeah.
So we want you to share, can know from someone who was there, how was it for you? How did that day started? And if you saw that coming or not?
Yeah. It was very, there's a lot of cliches that we can use. It was surreal. It was unforgettable. It was horrific, and it was a lot of things. But before I started, let me compliment Jennifer. Because Jennifer, I don't do interviews to this scale. I do little interviews with some friends. And Jennifer is the one that I'm doing this for. And Maria, where's Maria? Is she around?
Maria, she's
and
here.
Maria over there also. This is the reason why I'm doing this interview, because you guys are the greatest. You have very strong tenacity, and I really, really appreciate that. And I saw the passion in you. That's why I'm doing this interview. Now, Jennifer, you asked me about that day. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. It was sunny, a little bit cloudy, breezy now and then, and there was nothing but happiness. Nothing but happiness because President Trump came to Butler, PA, kind of to launch the Pennsylvania campaign before the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I went there, and my plan was to leave the rally and drive 11 hours to Milwaukee to join that. Not because I was a delegate, I was a guest of a friend of mine who was a delegate. So there was nothing but happiness. It was kind of a local event, and we were just enjoying one another because we hadn't seen each other. We're like all locals, even though there was a lot of people from West Virginia, Ohio, because it's close by. At these rallies, if you know, they come from all over they come from all over America. Yeah. They travel 20, 30, 40 hours, then they camp overnight, they bring their tent. It's what is happening with Donald J. Trump is indescribable. Going back to that day, it's just, even I was so excited. He's launching his Pennsylvania campaign, and he's going to Milwaukee. I even brought, I called a friend of mine, and I said, Jimmy, he sells football, sports paraphernalia. I said, Jimmy, I said, you got some terrible towels? I don't know if your audience knows anything about terrible towels.
No.
Terrible towels, my God, I'm going back like 30 years. I wanted to bring 100 terrible towels so everybody at the rally swung the terrible towels. That is a sign of supporting Donald J. Trump. Not necessarily. The towel was created 40 years ago in Pittsburgh to support the Steelers football team. So the Pittsburgh fans, they started the terrible towel, and then other teams picked it up. But anyway, so I came prepared with 100 terrible towels to pass them out complimentary to celebrate that beautiful day. So now I'm going to leave it up to you. Somehow I got myself in that position for that rally. I've been in front of the podium. I've been to the left of the podium. I've been to the right of the podium. But that day I happened to be in the center bleachers in that spot.
Yeah, when we had a chance to see the rally, because we were like we're taking it live, and we saw like all the people that was there behind him. They were like very happy. The people in front also enjoying the moment, and then the moment of the chart. So it was just like I don't know how this happened, but I just remembered the chart, and he just moving around. And then that comment arrived.
Yeah.
So how was it for you?
For me, it was it was like I was stunned, and I've told other people, I was stunned, dismayed, and I knew what was happening, but I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it that they killed my president. You must understand, I'm just giving you my perspective because of where I was and the way my mind saw it. There were 40,000 people there that saw the same thing from their perspective, from where their angle. Along with you were probably saw it on television, and the first thought was, oh my God, they killed him because he went down. When I look at the multiple videos that they show on ABC, NBC, CNN, Newsmax, blah, 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 and I'm still trying in my mind, trying to gather the thoughts of that specific moment. Because even though it was 3 seconds long, for me, it seemed like 3 hours, 3 days from that perspective. Because I remember that he was talking about the signs, and I remember he was pointing at the right sign. So I remember myself looking at the right sign, but I couldn't see the right sign because people were standing up. So there was 2 big screens there, gigantic screens. So you could go look to the right screen or look to the left screen. And I remember myself looking at the right because that's the one that he was pointing at. And then I couldn't see, I was looking to the left. Then all of a sudden, I brought like a little campaign sign with me that I was waving it before Trump came on. And at that moment, my head was down, and I was questioning myself. Should I bring up the sign now, or should I wait? While my head was down, the shots came about.
Oh my God.
My head was like this, and all of a sudden I hear brum, brum. The 8 shots, they came from the right side. And I'm lifting my head up. The video, a lot of this is because of the video to capture it. And I lift my head up. Before I lift my head up, I'm going, who is this? It's a bad word. Who is this lighting firecrackers within this perimeter? And I'm going, where is the Secret Service to get this MFer out of here? At the same time as I'm lifting my head, I'm looking at the stage. Mind you, this is all my perspective, my mind. I see the president go down.
Okay.
And I'm going, what's he doing go down? he kept on going down. I said, I thought maybe he was thirsty. He's got a bottle there behind the podium. Very familiar with that from other. And I thought he was kneeling to grab his bottle to have a sip of water. Then I said, he's not grabbing the water. He kept on going down. I said, oh, maybe he dropped a piece of paper or something, but he wasn't reading any paper. He was reading from the teleprompter. At the same time, I'm looking. I'm not seeing the Secret Service go that way to try to get where this guy was
The sound.
lighting the firecrackers. I see the Secret Service hands on a stage and run towards the president. All of a sudden, they created a dome. They covered him up, a shield. And then I'm going, somebody's yelling. I hear duck, 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 get down, get down, get down.
Oh.
And I'm going, now I'm interpreting. They were not firecrackers. These were gunshots. And then, now mind you, I'm going, at the same time before the Secret Service formed the dome, I was looking to see if there was any kind of movement from our president to tell me he was still alive.
Oh my God.
But there was no movement. Because at that same millisecond, millionth of a second, the Secret Service, what I could see of him, already had covered him up. And then the other two shots came, boom, boom, from this side. The two shots from this side were, the first shot was from, I know now, I didn't know then. I'm just trying to interpret, if you look at all the multiple little, skits that they show you on all the channels, I realized from that there were two shots here. So I'm looking, I'm going like this. So now I'm going, not only shots from here, there are other shooters here. This was multiple. Brum, brum. Over here there was boom, boom. Not until I came back because from that rally I was to go to the RNC. Go to the rally. I was ready, all packed, to go to the RNC in Milwaukee. And my friend 𝐿𝐲𝐸 is over there too. She was at the RNC. And so I was to leave for the RNC. But I did not. I didn't go until the next day because of the emotional aspect of it in so many ways. When I came back, I found out. But anyway, just to go back to the shooting, I'm looking and looking and looking. And I'm looking, and I was not a million, not a billion, I was 1,000,000,000% convinced that our president was dead. At this point in time, what I'm expecting the Secret Service to carry a dead body off the stage. That's why I'm so intense. And I remember myself going, I can't believe this shouldn't have happened in a million years. I can't believe they killed him. And I'm going like this. And then I find myself sitting down. And then I find myself, searching for my phone. We got that instinct today, right? The phone, you got a video. And I'm going, I want to take some video of them carrying our president off the stage. And I question myself, what are you doing? Taking a video of your dead president? That is like so sacrilegious. It's not like it's a beautiful event. You're taking videos of a dead president. It's so on you from being a Roman Catholic, from that perspective, to even try to take a video like that. So I hesitated. Even though I do have some video, which I'm not going to show, some of it, I put my phone down, and now I know that he's convinced, I'm 1,000,000,000% convinced that he's dead, so I just sit down, with rage and sorrow. Then all of a sudden, and I'm looking, all of a sudden, I see the Secret Service lift our president underneath the shoulders, and I'm going, now I'm dismayed because lifting him up by his shoulders, they should be carrying him from, feet and legs and just carrying him off, right? All of a sudden, I see his legs. And I see that they're supporting him, but he's also self-standing with his legs. And I'm going, oh my God, he's alive. And all of a sudden, and I'm looking because I can't believe it. I even told Father Pavone at the convention, I said, Father, it was like a resurrection. So all of a sudden, he's self-standing with the support of the Secret Service, and I see his fist go up. I see his fist go up. When I saw that, so happy, but with rage, I said, oh my God, he's alive. And I go, we love you, with rage and contentment and happiness. And all the rest of the crowd behind me, we start chanting, we love Trump, we love Trump. But I did not hear, I saw the fist go up, but I didn't hear that he said, fight, fight, fight. That I didn't hear. We just kept on with our chanting. And then the SWAT team, everything was happening so fast. The SWAT team, all dressed up in gear, they came up on stage with the rifles. They were looking, and we didn't know what to expect. Nobody knew primarily what was going on. We were expecting that they were going to start shooting because they knew where this guy was and so forth and so on. But everything was happening so fast. But the beauty of it all that we know now, the courage of Donald J. Trump. Now, if it was me, knowing that I got shot, because he knew he got shot, he was bleeding, the first thing I would have said, get me the hell out of here. Or the Secret Service, should have grabbed him. Mr. President, President, I don't care what you're saying, we're getting you the heck out of here. He was worried about his shoes. He said, let me get my shoes, let me get my shoes. That I heard.
Yeah.
I'm going, he's asking to get his shoes? Why is he not running off there? Why isn't the Secret Service just whisking him off his feet, and throw him in the beast where he could be safe?
Yeah.
But that's the way it happened. It was a divine intervention. It was a miracle. It was his guardian angel, my T-shirt, if you want to know about my T-shirt I designed.
Yes, of course. I want to know.
But at the same time, we got to be aware that there was some sort of like a sacrificial lamb, Corey Comparatori, who got shot, and he died instantly. Along with him, he was on the right bleacher. On my left bleacher, I was center. On the left bleacher, there were two other guys who got shot. James, I believe, and David. The guy who got shot in the chest, and the other guy who got shot in the liver. But they're okay. Thank God they're okay. So, there was some kind of divine intervention, or he had to have a heck of a guardian angel looking over him in so many ways. And that's why 2 weeks later, in my mind, I created this T-shirt. Mm-hmm. And I named it Trump's Guardian Angel, right? And this flag is the flag that was twisted. A gust of wind twisted the flag about maybe, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour before he came on stage. Wow. There was a gust of wind, literally twisted the flag, tangled the flag to the shape, what you see right here, of a guardian angel. This is the actual flag. It's not my picture. I didn't take it. Somebody took it out there. And I converted it into a creative T-shirt like this. From my artistic perspective, to show the world that there was a guardian angel looking over him. That guardian angel was the American flag, which represents the American people, that was twisted in an angel form to protect them. Mm-hmm. And then there's more to the story about how it happened, that it was untangled. And, this happened before he came on stage. Wow. And there's another beautiful story about the flag, is that this happened about approximately 1 hour before he came on stage. And the flag was tangled. It's a big flag. It's about 30 feet by 40 feet. You know, that's been supported by 2 cables. We knew that the flag was tangled. From my perspective, being underneath it, I didn't know it was in the shape of an angel. Only the audience in front of the podium could see the shape of the flag. But everybody, the whole crowd was screaming and yelling, "You got to fix that flag." It's so sacrilegious, so un-American to have our president walk on stage with that flag all untangled and this and that. They were yelling and screaming at the 2 crane operators to fix the flag. Well, the two crane operators slowly brought it down. Don't you dare, because that's so un-American. It's an American sacrilege to have our flag touch the ground. So the poor 2 crane operators brought it down to a level. I didn't see this. This is from the people higher up in the bleachers. They went and got some kind of boxes to stand on, crates, so they could stretch up, untangle it. So untangled, the flag would not touch. They had it all figured out, so untangled, the flag would not touch the ground. They went back in their respective cranes and they lifted the flag back in position to wait for our president to come on stage. That's a little story that not too many people know about, which is very, very interesting. And the story, it's absolutely true because the people that witnessed it from the upper bleachers, because they could look over and see the crane operators, that's the way it was told to me. So this is a t-shirt. You can buy it. I'm going to give Jennifer the little card if you'd like.
Yes.
Not for the money, but it's a day that must be remembered, worn, talked about, because I tell everybody in a shortcut, that could have been a day that America died. Simple as that. America died, the whole world dies. That's my feeling about it.
Oh,
So again,
yeah.
I want to thank Jennifer for inviting me, and Maria down there. Hi, Maria. And the young man, Jose over here, he almost picked me up to carry me over here because he wanted to do the interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If it wasn't for the passion of you 3 guys that I saw, this would have never happened. And I'm glad that I did, because now I feel like, there's a little bit of sort of like, weight off my shoulder that I told the story to you guys, and you'll be able to retell it to your audience.
Than're Vincent.
Yeah. You're gonna
Yeah, I want one question to ask you.
I don't have any voice left.
I know. Just a little. You think that moment, because we see a different president, different Donald Trump since that day.
I'm sorry.
We see a different Donald J. Trump since that day.
Yes.
Something more with an inner
Yes.
spirit going on there. Something.
I
that
agree
happened.
with you.
What's your perspective about it? Because you've been following him.
My
for a long time.
perspective is, it's not too. You're very good. That's a personal perspective, because I've seen him in many, many rallies. You can tell that it's a new Donald Trump. Let's face it. He realizes that he was not only a quarter of an inch, but he was a millisecond away from being with God, losing his family, losing his grandkids, and so forth and so on. You can tell that he approaches, the way he approaches the policy, the agenda, he's a little bit softer in so many ways, And my God, rightfully so, right? I noticed that because I've followed him, the rallies on television and so forth and so on, and it's the way I think. I think he has brought in a little bit more godly sense
Yes.
onto himself,
Yeah, like this nation was based on faith, so
Well,
it's coming back.
I mean, based on what happened, if you don't believe in something, then you know what? Like I said, we wouldn't have a president, and we wouldn't have a world or America the way we know it, in so many ways,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Thank you, Vincent, for
You're
your
very welcome.
beautiful story. And I'm sure that many people from the audience were willing to know exactly what happened from the voice of
That's
somebody.
my
who
perspective. What really
explained
happened.
We're about to know more in the future with
we need to know more about it. Definitely, we need to
Yes.
more. I'm just that day from who I am, from where I was, and thank God that we have Donald J. Trump.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. All the best.
and thank you, Maria and Jose, wherever you are.